Hi everyone, my name is Vasdez. I'm really excited about the opportunity to share with you a little bit more information about MSFS 745, Science, Technology, and International Affairs, or STIA, moving from principle to practice. So first, a little bit about myself. I actually graduated myself in 2011 from Georgetown University, and after getting a graduate degree also from Georgetown, I joined the World Bank, where I spent about 5.5 years with their Information Communication Technology Unit and also at their Innovation Lab. About a year and a half ago, I moved to IREX, which is a global development implementer with about 400 people around the world, and both at the World Bank and at IREX, my main role was to advise and support on different ways that technologies, modern innovations, and scientific methods can be leveraged to improve outcomes in a wide variety of public goods spaces, including global development, human development, international affairs, and governance. So this course itself is trying to ask a very specific question, perhaps a selfish question, which is, what do I wish I had known 6 years ago to better equip me to hit the ground running in the professional world of trying to leverage technology and science for improved international affairs and international development? This simple core question is what's guiding all of the content of this course. For instance, I wish I had known what were some reasons that seemingly perfect technology developments and global development challenges failed. Why is it that when a particular organization built what seemed to be a very powerful, compelling, easy-to-use computer for children who had low literacy in rural parts of the world to engage with their communities and with their representatives, why did that program fail? Why is it that when we try to build systems to enable farmers, for instance, to find the latest crop prices so they can make sure they're competitive at the market and when they're selling their goods in, let's say, somewhere in East Africa, why is it that some of those tools, despite their seemingly obvious kind of potential, aren't achieving the objectives and outcomes that they were hoping for? Why is it that citizen feedback tools that can inform public policy or budgets in communities around the world that can also play a role in defining international affairs don't get the uptake in use and scale that they need? So that's one example of the kinds of questions I hope we can answer in this course. And the reason why I want to focus on these questions, these almost failures, if you will, is because that's where the most learning can happen. In fact, that's where the scientific method and science is, I would argue, only in the past 5 or 10 years intersecting with the world of international affairs in a meaningful way. What I mean by that is the industry is finally beginning to embrace the value of learning from failure, embracing failure, learning and failing early and often, a lot of terms that we hear in the startup world or something like this, to improve our outcomes in international affairs and international development. So again, this course is basically about giving you a practical, tangible baseline of case studies, examples, good practices, and bad practices to ensure that when you leave the course, you are, I would say, better able to have a confident, capable, and credible conversation in any professional setting that I think would set you in kind of the right track to be a pioneer in the field of science, technology, and international affairs. So who should take this class? Well, really anyone who's interested in science and technology or innovation who wants to use those skill sets or concepts for public good, whether that's in global development or international affairs or other outcomes like that. You don't need to be a technologist or a scientist or a computer scientist or anything like this to appreciate this. But what I do ask is that you come with an open mind, ready to be interactive, creative, and have a lot of fun while we do this course. Maybe I'll close with just a couple of unique elements about this course that I think will be compelling. The first is that we will, like I mentioned before, be embracing failure. The final project will actually look at an example of a technology or innovation being used in an international affairs, diplomacy, or global development context, and not talk about why it worked, but diagnose what went wrong. I think that's one of the most powerful skill sets we can have in this industry in practice. And the other thing that I would want to articulate about why this might be a bit more unique is, as you can tell, I'm a millennial talking about science and technology. I wake up in the morning and, glued to my phone the way many of you might be as well. And I hope what that brings to the table is an element of relevance and practicality to the whole conversation that ensures that we are all on the same page talking about technologies, scientific methods, and innovations that are relevant and practical and recent and contemporary, and that we have a lot of fun having interactive, creative, participant-driven discussions throughout the entire course. So I hope I've been able to add a little bit more color to this, and I really hope to see a lot of you in our course in January. So with that, I'll say goodbye and Hoya Saxa.